Megan Hicks of I Run Far. I'm with Tyler Green. It's a couple days before the 2022 Western States Endurance Run. You are here again.
I am, and I'm happy to be here.
You are the top returning men's runner. You had an excellent race last year, like by all metrics. You ran smart, you moved up in the field, you had like meted psychology, you had your logistics nailed. I think you were the only one in the field with an ice vest. What brings you back?
This place is incredibly special. This course is incredibly special. The community is incredibly special. So I'm here to enjoy that once again and enjoy it fully once again.
You are a person I admire because you maintain a pretty impressive job outside of your running. You are a teacher.
I am.
Is school over? How does Western States coincide with the school year?
I actually find that it's a nice little boost to my my psyche because I finished Tuesday. There were meetings on Wednesday, but I shouldn't talk about that.
Skipped them.
Yeah. So, anyways, but I mean, turning in final comments, saying goodbye to the kids for the summer, it is a real lift or a lifting of weight off of my shoulders, and that actually kind of gives me a nice little spring in my step that I can bring here to race.
I love it. You're officially on summer vacation.
I certainly am.
How does like peak training for Western States go when it's coinciding with like a couple crucial months?
Yeah.
Ending a school year?
What really makes it tough is I also coach track, and so that makes it a little bit more challenging. I had I kind of worked with actually someone who's going to be pacing me, but he kind of took over some major roles as a head coach, so that I could have some afternoons to put some extra training in. Okay. So that was one piece of it, which so grateful for him and for the athletic department to allow for that. And then, it's looking at where are the 3-day weekends. I was able to go down and do rim to rim to rim for the first time, which was really special.
Wow. Huh.
Because we had a 3-day weekend called the spring. Huh. The spring. It's not spring break, but it was like a spring extra day, like
how we survive.
Break. And then there's the Memorial Day camp, and so I went down for an extra day for that. So. And then besides that, like I think I can do most of my things. Usually it's in the afternoon, and that it works just fine. I don't need to train all day long.
But it is nice a little bit to put your feet up after a hard run or a long day on the trail. And a person with a job like yours has less time for that.
True, that is true. There's certain times when I'm squeezing it in, but I make it work, and it's been working, and I'm actually that was my last year teaching, so things might change a little bit here.
Wow.
Changing up into more in coaching and being able to run a little bit more, and so we'll see how that changes things. But I find that it has been a good insulator for me to not train too much, and we're expecting a baby, and so that might be the next thing that becomes my insulator to not train too much.
That's very exciting. Congratulations on the upcoming parenthood.
Thank you. Yeah, we're excited.
You're now like on as like intense of a summer break as it can get. You're out of school. The baby's not here yet. You're on vacation at Western States. Like, this is real vacation.
This is vacation until we get to Saturday, and then it's a work day.
One very quick work day.
I don't know how quick that is.
Well, by most Western States standards. How about that?
Let's hope.
Okay, so let's talk about your build towards this year. I mean, you've had some great training races. I didn't know you went to do rim to rim to rim, but that sounds like perfect training. And then, of course, you were here at training camp a month ago.
Yeah, so I ran Red Hot 55K in Moab, and then Chuckanut, which I really wanted to focus on that one, and then a couple weeks after that did Gorge Waterfalls. And those were super fun. Like, I hadn't run 50Ks in a little while, and so it was truly like a learning experience. And I thought that was like, you kind of feel like going into like hundreds is where you get humbled, but 50Ks can humble you equally.
In a different way.
Yes, absolutely.
I did notice it seemed like people were training with shorter, quicker. I mean, it's funny that we say 50K is shorter, but a lot of people were doing training races that weren't 50 milers, which are like the historic way to prep for a 100-mile. People were doing shorter, faster things.
Yeah, and actually I kind of wanted to do a 50 miler, and I guess going back to our discussion about teaching is I couldn't fit one in at that time, which was okay.
Well, rim to rim is pretty close to that at the end of the day, just not a race.
And that kind of fit that bill.
Yeah. Yeah. You live in the Pacific Northwest, where it has been historically moist this spring. How have you been prepping? I mean, it's funny, we're standing here in a thunderstorm right now, but how have you been prepping for the supposed hot conditions of Saturday?
Yeah, so no, moist is putting it lightly. It's sopping wet.
Sorry.
And the trails are still sopping wet, though we just had our first like 80-degree day. So it's sitting in the sauna a lot and getting that heat stress there. And I'm confident I have a great coach who is a scientist and knows how to give me protocols that will get me ready. And so I just followed his protocol of sitting in the sauna. And I'm trusting that.
And is the Ice Fest coming back?
Everybody
wants to know.
The Ice Fest will be back. Yeah, why not?
Is it the same one? Is it going to? Are there some modifications?
I have. Yeah, it's the same vest. I don't see any reason to switch that. But there are some. I'm still like looking at my cooling system. I think there are some ways that I've improved it, and I'm excited to put those forward.
And I'm excited to see what that is.
Yeah, and it's stuff that you may or may not see, but it's there.
Okay. Well, best of luck to you on your run from here to Auburn, and enjoy the journey.
Thank you. I certainly will.